My friends, let me tell you something you might not know. My billionaire fortune started with a single coin. Yes, one shiny little coin, which I still keep proudly as my lucky charm. Back then, I wasn't the richest duck in the world. Far from it. I was just a determined duck navigating a world where every cent felt like a treasure. That coin, lovingly called my #1 dime, wasn't just my first profit. It was the symbol of a lesson I carry to this day. Every penny counts. It taught me to value even the smallest achievements and to transform something tiny into something extraordinary. But let me tell you, the journey wasn't easy. I bargained with witches, faced markets as wild as crocodiles, and still, I never stopped believing in the power of opportunity. Today, I want to share the lessons I've learned along the way. Get ready, because what you're about to hear could transform your financial life, just as it transformed mine. Let me make one thing clear. I've never underestimated a single coin, no matter how small. Every penny that passes through your hands is an opportunity, and the secret lies in knowing what to do with it. When I was a young duck trying to make my way, nothing was guaranteed. Every coin I earned was carefully saved, not out of stinginess, but because I knew that small wins add up to big results. I remember a specific day when I was paid a handful of coins to clean a chimney in Glasgow. My friends laughed, saying it was too much effort for such little money. But do you know what I did? I took those coins and invested them in a simple opportunity, a stockpile of coal that I sold during the winter. The profit, I tripled my investment. It's not about how much you have, it's about what you do with it. These days, people call it the power of compounding, but for me, it's the timeless principle of multiply, don't squander. Every penny you save or invest is like a tiny seed. With care, patience, and strategy, it can grow into a financial forest. So here's my advice. Think like a farmer. Plant your pennies, water them with effort, and tend to them with discipline. One day, you'll look back and realize that all those coins saved from small indulgences have grown into the vault of your dreams. Now, imagine this. What if you started today by valuing what you have and making every cent work for you? Never underestimate the power of humble beginnings. After all, even my famous vault started with a single coin. For us, who hasn't been tempted to dive headfirst into an opportunity without truly knowing what lies beneath? Let me tell you this. Even the smartest duck can get into trouble if they don't learn to assess the waters first. I, Scrooge McDuck, have seen it all in the markets. From gold hidden in dangerous mines to stocks that seemed promising but sank like a ship without an anchor. My secret, I never put my fortune, or even a handful of coins, into something I don't fully understand. I recall a time when someone offered me a revolutionary business deal. They said, "Scrooge, you'll make millions in weeks." It sounded too good to be true, and of course, it was. Before investing, I did my research and discovered the business was as empty as a vault without coins. The moral of the story: blind trust always comes at a high price. Today's financial markets are like jungles, full of traps but also brimming with opportunities. The key is to calculate your risks. It's not about avoiding danger at all costs. It's about knowing exactly where you're stepping. It's like when I dive into my vault. I don't just know how deep it is. I know the density of the coins to ensure my jump will be safe. Here's my advice. Before investing, ask questions. Study. Ask yourself, can I afford to lose this without jeopardizing my security? Investing without understanding is like jumping off a cliff without checking if there's water below. Remember, great fortunes aren't built on courage alone, but also on wisdom. If even I, the most stubborn and determined duck in the world, assess risks before acting, then so should you. But greed? Many see it as a flaw, but I, Scrooge McDuck, believe greed can be a virtue if it's calculated and strategic. You see, wanting more isn't the problem. The problem is wanting it all at once, without a plan. In my long career as a billionaire, I've never let a wealth-building opportunity slip by, but I've also never lost my head in the process. It's a fine line between ambition and recklessness, and I've learned to walk it like balancing a coin on the tip of my beak. Take this for example. One day, I heard about a diamond mine everyone thought was depleted. Investors fled, and prices plummeted. But I had different information. I knew there was an untouched layer still waiting to be explored. So, I bought the mine for next to nothing, and with careful planning, we opened operations. The result? Diamonds that sparkled brighter than stars. The lesson here is simple. Ambition without strategy is like chasing the wind. Building wealth requires patience, research, and, above all, emotional control. It's not about grabbing every opportunity that comes your way, but choosing the ones with the greatest potential for long-term returns. Remember, great fortunes aren't built by those who act out of desperation, but by those who see beyond the obvious. Even with all my experience, I still say no to many things because I know I can't do everything at once. My greed is focused, calculated, and, most importantly, strategic. So before you rush to embrace every idea that crosses your path, ask yourself, will this bring me closer to my goals or pull me further away? Because, in the end, it's not about doing the most, it's about doing the best. How times have changed, and so has money. I remember when it was all about gold, silver, and, of course, my beloved vault filled with coins. But today, my friends, we're dealing with things you can't even touch. Bitcoins, NFTs, startups worth billions before they've even turned a profit. If I were starting out now, my approach would be very different. But the lessons I've learned remain as valuable as ever. Curious about what I think of these cryptocurrencies? I tried storing a few in my vault once, but as you can guess, they don't fit. Jokes aside, I see the value in this new financial world. But I also see the risks. The difference between a billionaire and a gambler is simple. I only invest in what I understand. Before I put a single Satoshi, yes, I know the lingo, into crypto, I study, analyze, and most importantly, never bet my entire fortune on something that could vanish as quickly as the wind. And what about modern billionaires, like that Elon Musk fellow? He reminds me of my younger self, always chasing new ideas, never satisfied with what he already has. But even the boldest entrepreneur knows that the fundamental rules of finance haven't changed. Whether it's rockets or cookie factories, the secret is investing with purpose and a long-term vision. Want to dive into today's markets? Here's a piece of wisdom from an old duck. Invest in the future, but never lose sight of the present. Whether it's crypto, stocks, or startups, the key is understanding what you're buying. When I started out, I didn't have guides or videos explaining everything. I learned the hard way, trial and error. But today, you have the chance to learn from my mistakes without having to make them yourself. If I were starting today, you know what I'd do? Diversify. A bit of crypto, a slice of tech companies, but always keeping a foot firmly in safe investments. Because at the end of the day, even in the digital world, what matters is how you make your money work for you, not the other way around. So, young one, want to build your fortune in today's market? Do it with the boldness of a visionary, but the caution of a duck who's dived into many vaults. After all, money may change, but smart practices never go out of style. And here we are, my friends, at the end of our journey. Looking back, I see that it all began with that single coin, the number one. It wasn't just money, it was a symbol of my determination, discipline, and vision. If I could leave you with one legacy, it would be this. Everyone has their own number one. It doesn't matter its size or value. What matters is what you do with it. If there's one thing I've learned over the years, it's that building a fortune is less about money and more about mindset. It's about valuing what you have, planning where you want to go, and most importantly, acting with courage and wisdom. People often ask me for the secret to financial success. Well, here it is. Success isn't a leap, it's a staircase. Every step you climb, every penny saved, every smart investment, every calculated risk is a step closer to your goals. So, as you leave here today, take this with you. No matter where you are now, your journey to financial success begins with the next choice you make. Choose to value your coins. Choose to learn. Choose to act. And never underestimate the power of time. Just as I didn't build my vault in a day, you don't have to rush your journey. Wealth that lasts is built with patience, effort, and a healthy dose of creativity. And remember, if even an old duck like me could conquer the world with a single coin, what's stopping you? Believe in yourself, in your potential and go for it. Your vault might be empty today, but with the right choices, it can be brimming with possibilities tomorrow. Now go out there and work your magic. The world is full of coins waiting to be turned into fortunes.